edition of eMigr8 Open Day. It promises to be very informative. Our focus today will be on the Canada Startup Visa. It's a visa, one of the visas available for tech talents, for tech professionals to move from their home countries to Canada, focusing on you being able to build a startup and scale your startup in Canada to a global audience. Our coach is already in the room, Marcel, who is going to be taking us through the journey around the Canada Startup Visa. What is it about? How can you qualify for it? What are they looking for as, what is the Canadian government looking for as regards the Canada Startup Visa? You're welcome to this edition of eMigr8 Open Day. It promises to be very informative. And if you wait till the end of the session, we do have a bonus for you as a member of our community. If you're a beginner in the room, you would be able to understand some of the things you should be doing around planning your profile or your tech startup towards qualifying for this specific visa opportunity. If you're already qualified, if you're an expert in the room, if you're a founder that already have a startup that is already growing, already scaling, and already has some traction, this opportunity may also be for you to look at expanding your startup, your idea, your innovation globally. For this edition of eMigr8 Open Day, our coach, Marcel Soda, would be taking us through the journey of explaining about the Canada Startup Visa. We'll be talking about what we need to think about, what you need to know, and also some tips as regards the specific visa opportunity. They will also be talking about some programs that you can join that will boost your option and your opportunity to be able to qualify for this visa opportunity. Could you please just confirm if you can see my screen and also confirm in the chat if you can hear me? You're welcome to this edition of eMigr8 Open Day. eMigr8 focuses on tech-enabled pathway to relocation and settlement. For today's edition, we will start by just a bit of introduction into what eMigr8 is and also what eMigr8 is not. Then we will get into Marcel's session, which would focus on scaling globally with the Canada Startup Visa. We would also have a lot of time for question and answers. So we ask you, if you have questions, please drop it in the chat, or if you're watching the replay video, please drop the question also in the comment section, and we would be able to answer as many questions as possible. We will talk about the 2023 eMigr8 Tech Visa landscape at some point during this session. We will talk about a package that we have for move to the UK as an innovator. And then we do have a gift for you if you wait till the end of this session. Previously, on eMigr8 Open Day, we spoke around the eMigr8 Open Coaching session, talking about various tech visas available to you from multiple countries of the world. And then the immediate last edition, we focused on an innovator's guide to the UK Global Talent Visa. Today, we will be focusing on scaling globally with the Canada Startup Visa. You're welcome. And please bear in mind that the replay videos of many of these sessions are available online. They're available on YouTube. They're available for you to watch the replay. We've spoken on the eMigr8 platform around the Australia Global Talent Visa, the US O1 Visa, the UK Global Talent Visa, and several other opportunities available for you as a tech talent from anywhere all over the world. Next edition of eMigr8 Open Day, we'll be having editions around the UK Innovator Founder Visa route. We'll be having sessions around the UK Technician Visa, which is the UK Global Talent Visa. We'll be talking about the Canada Startup Visa in this edition. And then we have an edition coming up around the French Tech Visa. What we do at eMigr8 is we focus on tech-enabled pathway to relocation and settlement. And the reason why this is available is the fact that many countries around the world are not doing you as an individual a favor. They want you to move to their economy, to their jurisdiction, to bring your innovation, to bring your idea, to bring your talent, to help them to grow the economy, to help them to build and also bolster the job economy, create jobs in that ecosystem, and so many other advantages that you would bring as an expert in your trade moving to that economy. You will be able to move with your family, you'll be able to move with everything that you've got, because the countries of the world have realized that talent is the new oil. And so it's important that you are able to show yourself as a talent and then be able to move with that innovation, with that talent, and so on to that economy. And so what we do at eMigr8 is we help you become globally attractive in two ways. First way is through your tech-enabled profile, or also through your tech-enabled business. The visas themselves is really just a side effect of this overall objective, because we believe that if you are globally attractive, you will have options. Today, our focus is, however, on the Canada startup visa. At eMigr8, our services includes information session, general inquiry, coaching and handholding, preliminary assessment, and several other opportunities as well. We run a freemium model on the eMigr8 platform. What that means is that we do a lot of things for free, but then we do charge a premium for some of our services as well. We are structured as a coaching platform. We've got our information and inspiration sessions. We've got the eMigr8 Open Day available. We've got the introductory videos. We've got open coaching sessions. We've even got visa-specific office hours on different visa opportunities. And we have short inquiry sessions as well available with different coaches on the eMigr8 platform, so that if you have questions, you are able to ask those questions and get those answers at no cost to you. However, we advise that before you book a short inquiry session, take advantage of all the other services that are available for free, first of all. The reason for that is we want you to make the best use of the coach's time and the best use of your own time as well. So don't go to that session to say, what are the requirements for the Canada startup visa? You can find that online. Don't go to that session to ask basic questions that you can easily Google. Go to that session to ask questions that would be unique to you, and we believe that it will be a contribution to your journey of becoming globally attractive and your journey of relocation and settlement to your desired economy. We also have premium packages as well. Some of our premium packages are the eMigr8 Circle, which is a closed paid community. We've got personalized coaching sessions, and then we've got the eMigr8 custom services and packages as well. Some of our packages includes the move to the UK as a global talent. This focuses on the UK Global Talent Visa, which is also known as the Tech Nation Visa. We've got the move to the UK as an innovator founder. We've got the move to the US as a global talent. This focuses on the US 01 visa. And we've got several packages as well available on the eMigr8 platform. eMigr8 is incubated by Bincom Dev Center. And Bincom Dev Center has a number of other services that may be of interest, and I'll spend a few minutes to just talk about that before I yield the floor to our coach for the day, Marcel. Bincom Dev Center is a talent development platform, and one of our services is the Bincom Global Tech Program. This is available to you if you're a beginner in the field of technology and you are looking to build your journey in the field of technology from ground zero to becoming globally attractive. We have the opportunity for you to learn tech now and pay later. But this is also good for you if you're at the intermediate level in the field of technology and you realize that you have the deficit of experience and exposure that is needed for you to be able to get to the next level. The full program is a 1 to 2 year program, but we do have a 3-month program that will be useful to help you move from one stage to the other as well, that incorporates tech training, career coaching, tech apprenticeship, and a number of other options along those lines. If you're an expert in the room, one of the ways you can show yourself as globally attractive is by mentoring. And mentoring on a structured platform is important for some visa opportunities, like the UK Global Talent Visa, like the US 01 visa. Mentoring on a structured platform is important. Our mentoring platform is available for you to volunteer on. It's a very competitive platform in terms of the mentors that are selected, but the first step is for you to apply to become a mentor. We have a number of mentees who are looking for mentors experience, such as yourself, to be able to mentor them to their next level in the field of technology. And then if you are just starting your journey of building startup, Labs by Beacon may be of interest to you. It's a pre-incubation program. And what that program is a 3 to 6 months program, bringing together 3 to 10 people who are also interested in creating a startup. It has to be innovative, building that startup from scratch. One of the key things is that within 6 months, you must have real life users using your technology and your innovation. It's practical learning opportunity. It helps you to build your portfolio and your career. And it's also fantastic for you if you're just starting your journey around building startups. The last one I will talk about before I move is our Tech Career Coaching Service. And the Tech Career Coaching Service is available specifically for the UK at this point, but we are looking at expanding that to many other countries over a period of time. This helps you to land your next role faster. The Tech Career Coaching would help you to land your next role faster. And how that works, sorry about that. Yes, sorted. How that works is that we're able to coach you, make you, help you to become globally attractive, introduce you to technical recruiters, and help you to build relevant experience in your target economy. In terms of visa opportunities, there are quite a number of available visa opportunities for you as a talent, depending on where you are, depending on the country you are looking at, and also depending on what your focus is. Today, we will be focused on the Canada Startup Visa, but you can take a screenshot of this because there are quite a number of visa opportunities that you can take a look at that may be beneficial to you depending on what your destination country is, depending on your unique circumstance as well. One of the lowest common denominator across these visa opportunities is that you need to be globally attractive. If you are globally attractive, you will have options. However, for eMigr8, we focus on pathways that lead to settlement. It could lead to settlement directly or indirectly. We'll focus on pathways where you can move with your family. And if you're a beginner, we focus on pathways where you can plan as a beginner. We focus on eMigr8 platform. We focus only on tech-enabled visa opportunities at this point. So there are many other visa opportunities for relocation and settlement, but for us on the eMigr8 platform at the moment, our focus is on tech-enabled visa opportunities. Well, we've got the 2023 eMigr8 Tech Visa Landscape coming up. I will talk a bit more about that later on in the session. And so thank you for joining us in this edition of eMigr8 Open Day. One more thing I will just mention before I yield the floor to Marcel is that if you're a beginner in the room, please don't discount yourself when you hear about some of these requirements and some of the things that you would need to qualify as to be able to get this visa opportunity. You as a beginner are getting a roadmap that you can plan your journey across in terms of these are the things that you can do so that in a year's time, in 2 years' time maximum, you are able to also qualify for these visa opportunities. The Canada Startup Visa is not for beginners in the field of technology. You need to already have an innovative solution that already has some traction. And I know Marcel will talk to us more about this visa opportunity. And I know there are quite a number of founders that I can see in the room already. But if you're a beginner, don't discount yourself to say they are not talking to me, because we believe that you can plan your journey to get there with the help of the eMigr8 platform as well. So with that being said, Marcel, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for the opportunity. And it's a pleasure to be here with you all today to give you more information around the opportunity here in Canada.
Fantastic. And Marcel, with that being said, you have the floor now. Thank you.
Thank you. So I will share my screen and then we can start the presentation. So thank you all for being here today. If you have any question, just please write in the chat. We'll be replying later on to you just to understand better how can we help you through this path. So first of all, we are an accelerator here in Toronto called Latin Startups. We are a nonprofit organization, which means that we don't take any equity of any company that we are receiving in our program. We are supported by the government here in Toronto, not only Toronto City, but also in the province of Ontario. And we are also part of the National Angel Capital Organization, that is really good at this connection for investments later on. And we are one of the designated business incubators to issue the letter of support that I'll be talking about later on. So first of all, I want to talk with you better the impact that we have so far. So we are an accelerator specialized in bringing international companies to launch their products here in North America, using Canada as a starting point. And what we are working with this company at this point is understanding how can you get into the market in a way that will help you to grow. Right. So far we have more than 200 startups in our portfolio, one unicorn and another Centauro. And the impact that we have in our accelerator per se, it's as you can see here, is the participation from different countries of the world. Even we call ourselves Latin Startups. We are going through a rebranding process. We are working with different countries, let's say, because at the meantime, we understand that the way that the business culture is in different countries, the emergent countries itself, it's not complete, but it's similar. So how can we get all the learnings that we have in Latin America and also help those other entrepreneurs just to grow their business here? So why Canada? This is something that it's really important for you in your decision, because first of all, we are the fourth best market for you to grow your startup. So why? Because the economic system that we have, it's really driven for a startup market. We have high standard of living. The proximity with US also helps a lot. And we are a native English language. So, and another important thing is nowadays, half of the country is coming from abroad. So it means that you have different ways to connect yourself with the culture here in Canada. One thing that it's really interesting here, it's how the country is split itself in related to the technology that they are investing. So every single province here, they have different investments happening at the moment. It doesn't mean that if you are like in Vancouver, you cannot access AI, for instance. Is not that the point, but the investments per se, they are more focused on each one of these provinces. So if you are thinking in immigrating to Canada through the startup visa program, it's really good for you to understand how does the ecosystem works into the province that you are trying to enter. Another thing that it's really interest here is about the grants. So we have a lot of free money coming from the government, investing in different kind of technologies. Now, what we can see is not only local level, but also provincial and federal level. So how does it work? It's you can apply for those grants. Mainly, it's for hiring talents, improving technology, business expansion, and so on. And with this money, you can grow your company in Canadian land. the government, it's so focused on the grants and how can they help the companies going forward, that they have an app exclusively to you to go through and understand for each what is the eligibility for every single program that they have. So you can use it around the world. So you can take a picture, take a screen picture from this slide, and you can go through by yourself. You can find every single program that they have available and also the eligibility. Talking about the startup visa here in Canada, so it's in a way that Canada found to invest in different technologies. They are looking for innovative business to grow here in Canada. So imagine that they are giving you the PR, but they are expecting to receive high scalable business. So what is the eligibility for that? You need to have a qualified business. It's also related to intellectual property. So if you are saying that you are innovative enough, you need to have an IP strategy or an IP application on that to prove that you have uniqueness in your solution. Another thing that it's really important is you need to be like a tech business, because it's the way that they are seeing scalable business through technology. But if you have a product or a device or something like that, that you can prove the intellectual property behind, it's something that you can also apply for. The other component is the letter of support. So this one, it's only delivered by the organizations that are approved by the government. So we are one of those. You have a lot around across Canada. Most of them, what they are asking, it's you need to be part of a program. They need to prepare your company in order to receive your company here. So it's something that we will discuss later on. Meet the language requirements. They ask for CLB 5. So you will need to take IELTS or CELPIP just to get your scores on that, and bring enough money to settle. And this is kind of tricky, because it's not only money for you and your family, but the money that you will need for you to run your business before you getting revenue here in Canada. So what happens right now, it's startup visa is taking 35 months to review your case and provide the permanent residence. But one thing that they do, it's once you apply for a startup visa, you can apply also for a work permit. So you can relocate yourself, your co-founders, and your family before or while you are waiting for the permanent residency. One thing that it's important for you to know is startup visa, it's a program from the government. We don't know how long does it take. It's something that it's available now, but we never know how long they will be in place, right? So they were created in 2013, so as a pilot project, and is still running so far. What we do is to understand exactly how can you be eligible for it, right? So the first thing is technology. You need to have IIP, as I already mentioned, the English proficiency, because all the coaches and all the support that you will receive from us or any other accelerator here will be in English. And you need to have like a stability, financially speaking, because you are in the process of expansion. You are not like in a ideation phase or launching something from the beginning. You need to have some support from your home country to grow to a different country. So for our program itself, how does it work? It's we have soft landing to understand exactly what is the moment of your company right now. If you already have some assumptions of the Canadian market, or if you have any idea of who will be your customer here and so on. So first of all, you need to have an MVP validated in your home country or sales. The intellectual property on your solution. We know that most of the emerging countries, I'm from Brazil, so I know that most of the countries, they are not required for us to apply for intellectual property strategy, but it's something that it's needed in mature countries as Canada and also US. The financially stable, it's we need to have an idea of your plans in your first year here in Canada, which means that you need to have money to operate your company in this 1 year. We help you just to figure out what is going to be the amount and what kind of resources you will need going forward, but it's something that you need to have in mind. And the business English level, as I already mentioned. So what is different from the other programs is the soft landing. It's a way for you to understand exactly what is happening in the market. So we do customized market research for your company, understand who's going to be the competitors, what is the gaps in the market for you to understand exactly how to tackle. We also assign business experts to advise you what is going to be the best way to grow your company here. There's a lot of networking connections, not only with our partners, but we have a lot of resources and sources that we can provide. Another important piece is the international business plan. Sometimes you have it already, but you need to have more information when you are applying for the government. They will be asking a lot of different questions, so we know exactly what is the model that they are looking for, so we help you go and deliver it. And funding options in the Canadian market, that again, it's some of what I already mentioned, but we have our partners as well that can help you go into the details. This 3 months program is delivering complete online. It's important because most of the countries, they don't have any agreements with Canada, and they not provide visa fast just to come in person. So it's something that we are delivering online. It's $2,500 per month, and up to 5 co-founders. So it's the only amount for 5 co-founders. This is really important. And going forward, all of you with your families can apply for the permanent residency. In the end of the 3rd month, we are going to have a pitch to our board of directors, where you are going to introduce exactly what is going to be your plan, your solution, and what you discover as an opportunity here in the Canadian North American market. And once you approved, we'll issue the letter of support and go through the acceleration per se. So you will need to be incorporated here It's something that we help you in the first 3 months. The intellectual property here needs to be already defined. It's something that we have a lot of lawyers to help you with that as well. The international business plan needs to be completed. In the first 3 months, we are working with you towards it, just to understand exactly what is gonna be your strategy. So it's something that it's integrated with the market research that we do, the focus group that we deliver as well, and then with all the support of the coaches that you have here. So it's something that we can help you to build something that is gonna be a stronger case to the Canadian government. And also the proposals for job creation in Canada. Again, the government is giving you permanent residency, but they are expecting you to provide something for them, right? So in a way for growing the economy is not only paying taxes, but it's also creating jobs. So they are expecting that these new companies are creating more jobs just to attract even more people to the country. For this phase per se, it's all about growing. So you will be with investors. We will have C-fractional executives to help you into the strategy. So for instance, if you need a CMO to help you with the North American strategy, you will have it. You will also have market experts into your sector, because again, it's not only about business mentors, right? You need to have an idea how to better navigate into the market, and these industry experts can help you with that. So we have a lot of medtech technologies where you have a lot of regulations in place. So this market expert can help you to understand what is gonna be the classification of your device or your technology, if you need any certification, or which will be the regulations in place for this kind of technology. So this is really important. And after that, we have also access to another program. This another program is more 6 months, but the government of Canada is sponsoring this 6 months. So for the extra 6 months, what we deliver, it's more focused on sales and also funds, how to get funds here in Canada. So it's really important that we prepare the companies just to be ready to the next step. So for this continuation, let's say it's more 6 months, plus 1 year of monitoring, which means that in the next 1 year, if you need any support from our community, we can have meetings with you to understand any problems you have, or what is gonna be your next goals and so on. We can help you with that. This part itself could be online, in person, or hybrid. Some countries, they are really fast to issue the work permit. So after 2 months, you can land here, but it will depend on the application process in your home country per se. This, it's on one fee of $15,000. Again, once you enroll to this phase, we provide the letter of support, and you will be paying for that. So that's all the information that I have. Again, it's I know that it's a lot of information, but at the same time, if you have any further questions, I will be here for the Q&A. But yeah, feel free to connect with me. And yeah, hope I solve at least part of your questions. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Marcel. And we will just be getting into this for the question and answers at this point. I'll just say to the members of the community, if you have questions, please do drop the questions now. You can drop it on this chat. You can also drop it in our community, and we would be able to pick as many questions as possible on this live session. And even those that we're not able to take on this live session, we'll be able to get the answers back to you as soon as possible. I know there are quite a number of questions already as regards the visa that I already have here from the community, but I see some questions coming in, and I'll be bringing up those questions with those coming from the various eMigr8 communities as well. So Marcel, let me just start with the basics, because for some of the people on the call, particularly the startup founders that are at the stage that you're talking about, which is that they have traction in their own country, and then they are looking at expanding globally. They typically have families, right? So they have a spouse, they have maybe kids, or and so on. What's in terms of the Canada startup visa? Are they able to move with their spouse, or they would have to move by themselves? What does the visa allow?
It's for them and their families. So for instance, your spouse will receive open work permit. So it allows her or him or them to apply also for jobs here. Your kids can have like the student permit, so you can settle all your family together. One thing it's really important is it's up to 5 co-founders and their families. So imagine that you need to be really, I would say, careful with this application. As soon as you apply for the permanent residency, you cannot drop off. Otherwise, all the cases will be rejected. So once you decide to apply for the startup visa, you need to make sure that all of you are aligned with this plan, because it will take like 3 years to receive like a response from the government. But you need to keep growing and working in your company in the meantime. Yeah. And in terms of the visa, so do you want to break that down a little more for members of the community? So you said that they first get a work permit, but then eventually you get the permanent residency, maybe 2 years later or 3 years later. I'll remind the community again, this is not immigration advice. This is not legal advice. This is just information that we're bringing to you and just helping you and coaching in terms of some information that you can go get more information about as well. So Marcel, do you want to speak a little more around those to say what's the stage like? You get the work permit before you get the permanent residency, and then what's the success rate between work permits and permanent residency? Is it possible I will have started building in Canada for 2 years and then all of a sudden the government says no, you don't get permanent residency? How does that work? So first of all, once you receive the letter of support, you can apply at the same time for a work permit and a permanent residency. So which means that in your home country would be issue the work permit, and once you land here, you will be waiting for your permanent residency. So you can do both at the same time. And sometimes the entrepreneur, they land here and they don't want to go through the process with their business. So you are applying for a startup visa. It means that you need to grow your business. So again, the government will expect you to give them a business in return. So the cases that we saw rejection is regarding the plan per se, because once you apply for the startup visa program, you are applying also your business plan in that. So imagine that you give them an idea what it's gonna be the next steps of your business, but 2 years later, you didn't complete anything. So this is gonna be a red flag for them, and probably your case is gonna be rejected. So this is really important for you to know that you need to keep growing your business, doing your homework, because when it's going to be the time to them to review your case, they will be asking for updates. So this is gonna be, the rejections, it's around it.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that. So just to be clear to the community, a Canada startup visa is a visa where they're expecting you to build and scale a company in Canada, and that would create jobs that will follow your business plans, and you'll be able to then deliver to the government and to that economy, added value to the economy as well. But once you get the letter of support, you would be able to apply for a work permit, which enables you to move to Canada at that point. Marcel, you spoke about your program, and I think it's a good time to talk about the program as well. You talked about two key stages of the program. And so the question is, at what point do you get the letter of support? Is it at stage 1 or is it at stage 2? Or do the entrepreneurs have to sign up for both stage 1 and stage 2 before getting the letter of support, or stage 2 is optional? Do you want to clarify that a bit?
Yeah, for sure. First of all, the letter of support can be issued from incubators, VC, and also investors, angel investors. So these are the 3 main clusters that can issue the letter of support for you. So from our program, what we do, it's the first 3 months. We can understand better your business. We can understand exactly what you need to grow into the Canadian market. So we do an immersion to understand it. We can assign different resources for you to prepare your company before launching itself here in Canada. So once you go through these 3 months, you pitch to our board of directors. Once you approved, so we issue the letter of support. So if you go through like the whole program, it's 9 months, where like in the final of the end of the 3rd month, you can receive the letter of support.
Oh, fantastic information. Someone is asking around investments. Does my startup have to have raised the investment? Is there a minimum investment requirement in the startup to be able to qualify for this?
Yeah, so our program, it's the first 3 months is 2,500, and for the second part, it's 15,000. So this is the whole amount of our program itself. Our accelerator, we are a non-profit organization, so which means that we don't take equity of your company. So we don't invest in your company, but we have a lot of demo days after you complete the whole program that can receive investments, not only from the government, but also from our community as well. So this is the first one. What else?
Yes, so the second question is that, do I have to have raised the investment externally? Do I need to have raised the investment in my home country before I can qualify for the program and before I can qualify for the visa?
Yeah, the program itself, it's more for if your company has intellectual property, you already have some traction, sales, MVP, or even use a database, we can receive your company in our cohorts. So it's not, you don't need to receive investments from the country, but you need to have some funds in order to establish your business here in Canada. So this is really important. And the amount of money that you need to have, it's gonna be related to your sector and your solution. So for instance, if it's a SaaS business, you probably need less money than if you are like a device technology, because you will need to manufacture the device per se. So the steps is going to be really longer for you to receive like approval and so on. So this is something that you need to have in mind as well.
Okay. Somebody's asking in the chat around processing, would include co-founders? That what about key members of the team who are not necessarily co-founders? And does Canada define a co-founder as somebody that has at least 10% in that business? So that's the question this person is asking.
Okay, it's only the startup visa per se, it's only for the co-founders. So you need to have shares, at least 10% of shares of the company to be assigned as a co-founder. However, once you have your incorporation here in Canada, you can do intercompany transfers. So you as a company, you can issue a work permit for some members of your team.
No, fantastic information. Somebody is asking around the settlement part of this. And so just to mention that around the eMigr8 community, we've got people and quite a number of them are families as well. So somebody is asking around settlement to say, do you have any ideas around an estimate for how much is enough to settle in Canada? Kindly give an estimate. I know that could be a tricky question, but do you want to take a stab?
It will depend the province, the city. That's Canada is not a cheap place to live. It's a really expensive country, but at the same time you receive a lot of in return. So for instance, schools are free here. You have public schools that it's really good for you. Healthcare is for free as well. So you have a lot of things that you are investing in the country per se. But one thing that it's really important is you have first of all, you need to go through the government website. There you can see exactly the amount of money you need to settle your family here from an immigration perspective. So it's free information. You can check available. There is a lot of different topics there. So I would say that with this amount, you can duplicate and then it's gonna be something around it just to settle your family here. But again, it will depend on the age of your kids as well, because I think until 4 years that you need to pay daycare.
4 years, 3 years.
Okay.
Start junior.
Yeah. So when you enter in the junior high, you can have this kind of benefits from the government and benefits from the government. That is really good because not only for the companies, but you can be eligible for different grants as like personal things and your family. So for instance, if your wife is not working yet, you can apply for grants to receive some support, financially support, just to go through different things in the country.
Oh, fantastic. I thought to bring JP into the conversation.
Yeah, no, it's because he has a
we're
yeah,
close by, so we need one mic.
Oh, he has a kid, and that's the reason why I was asking him to go through and say what is the age.
Oh, it's fine. We're happy to have JP on the call as well. We'll soon get into a break, but there's a question around traction. I'll just say to the audience again that if you have questions, please drop them in the chat. If you are part of any of our communities, you can drop them on WhatsApp, on Telegram, on Twitter. We've got the community managers who will pick up the question and share them with us on this. And if you're watching the replay video, it's fine as well. You can drop your questions in the chat, and we would have some of our community managers who would try and get the answers for you as soon as possible. Let's speak about traction for a moment, Marcel. There's a question around MRR and ARR. So that's monthly recurrent revenue and then annual recurrent revenue. So this startup founder, I presume, is interested in knowing, do you have maybe any index or indices that you're taking a look at around those, or is just, do I have an innovative idea that has some customers in my own country? Do you want to speak a bit more around traction?
Yeah, the traction will show us if you have a scalable business. So this is really important. So if we can see that you were growing through like the last year and so on, is not the amount per se, but it's in a way for us to understand the potential of scalability of this business. So, and again, you need to have in mind that you need to invest in your business in the first year, presuming that you won't have revenue. You are not receiving, actually generating revenue in the first year here. So how can your business in your home country support the business that you are like starting here? Because imagine that even though if you have a lot of traction in your home country here, you will be starting a business from scratch. So you need to build the brand awareness, and you have to do a lot of conversation with prospects and so on until you close your first deal. So how can you be prepared? What is going to be your financial strategy on that?
Yeah, thank you so much for that. And as I've said, if you wait till the end, we've got something special for you as members of our community. If you wait till the end of this particular conversation, we have something special for you. We'll take a quick pause here where I will just share a few more things around the eMigr8 platform and the eMigr8 community. And then we'll be coming back to Marcel and I guess JP to answer many more questions. If you have questions around the Canada startup visa specifically, please don't hesitate to share those questions. We have a number of questions from the community that I'm hoping we can get through within the few more minutes that we've got on this particular session. And I will just mention that Marcel has spoken around the Canada startup visa, around what is required, around you having innovation that is that has intellectual property that you're able to move to Canada. And at the same time, you need to be able to show that you are able to employ people and several other information that Marcel has shared around this as well. And so if you're a startup founder in the room, this may be an opportunity that your business needs at this point for the next level in terms of your global dominance plan, or the next level, expanding particularly to Canada and expanding particularly maybe to North America as well. I'll just say, and I'm just sharing my screen in a moment, that welcome again for those that just joined us. Welcome to eMigr8 Open Day. At eMigr8, we focus on tech-enabled visa pathway for relocation and settlement. Today's edition of eMigr8 Open Day, our focus is on the Canada startup visa. And we've got our coach in the room, Marcel from LATAM Startup, who has been sharing a lot of information around the Canada startup visa, around what you need to qualify, whether or not you can move your family, and so on. I'll just say that for on the eMigr8 platform, our focus is on tech-enabled visa pathway, and there's a lowest common denominator for most of this tech-enabled visa pathway, is that you should be globally attractive. We believe that if you're globally attractive, you would have options of different countries around the world. We're speaking specifically about the Canada startup visa today, but on eMigr8 Open Day and on eMigr8 platform, we've spoken about and we coach on several different visa opportunities from several countries of the world, from the UK Global Talent Visa to the UK Innovator Founder Visa. It used to be called the UK Startup Visa, to the Canada Startup Visa, to the French Tech Visa, to the US O1 Visa. Several visa opportunities available for you, but only if you are globally attractive. For the UK startup visa, it's friendly if you've just got the idea and all, but with the Canada startup visa, as Marcel has been speaking about, you need to show traction in your business. However, the traction does not have to be significant as long as the business incubator, the assessors are able to see that this startup has a trajectory of going upwards and would be able to create innovation, intellectual property, and so on within the target jurisdiction. Within eMigr8 platform, we focus on pathways that enables you to settle, and pathways that enable whether directly or indirectly to settle, and then platforms that enable you to move with your family. We've got our 2023 eMigr8 tech visa landscape launching soon, and we would encourage you to use the link on the screen to join the waiting list to be one of the first few people to get these particular reports and this particular landscape. It's an insight into various visa opportunities from multiple countries, and particularly for people in tech. Whether you're a beginner in the room, whether you are at the intermediate level, or you're an expert in the room in the field of technology, whether you are an expert in terms of working within an employer, or you have your own startup as a founder, or as a top executive within a startup, this landscape would help you to take decisions as to what you should be looking at and when you should be looking at those different options. Within the eMigr8 community as well, we have spoken about different tech-enabled visa pathways from all over the world, and we have replay videos available within the eMigr8 community. You can find replay videos on our YouTube channel. You can find replay videos in some of our communities as well. We encourage you to join the community. We encourage you to also like, share, comment, ask questions, because within those communities are people who are also on the same journey as yourself. No two individuals are the same, and different people have specific unique circumstance. But what happens within the community is that you're able to get guidance, you're able to get information, and then if you need it as well, you're able to get hand-holding, coaching, and so on within the eMigr8 community. eMigr8 focuses on a freemium model, which means that we do a lot of things for free, but then we do charge a premium as well for some of our premium services. And we encourage you to engage with the eMigr8 platform. In terms of with the Canada startup visa, and we're coming back to questions. I've said if you have questions, and I see quite a number of questions in the chat, and I see I have a number of questions to get through. We'll see how far we can go, but please drop your questions. We can match some questions together if we understand what your questions are. There will not be time to do the open consultation session today, so we will not be able to bring you on stage as our audience to ask questions directly. So if you have questions, please ask the questions in the chats. Also, and so Marcel, coming back to you and coming back to some of the questions that we have, somebody is asking, and I think this question I would answer from an eMigr8 perspective, but then Marcel, maybe you can answer as well. Somebody is asking, Canadian market is different from my own country. How can I create an MVP that will scale in my own country and also be perceived as potentially successful in Canada? So I'll answer from an eMigr8 perspective. There are two services that may be interesting to you. One of them is Labs by Bincom. So as a beginner or intermediate person in the room, we have incubated and gone through our pre-incubation program a number of startups that are also doing well now in the market. Some of them almost ready to apply for this visa opportunity. I spoke about it at the beginning of the session. If you're interested, you can go to bincom.net/labs. What Labs by Bincom does is that they bring together about 3 to 10 people who are also interested in building something. It has to be innovative, and within the 3 to 6 months period, you would have to have real life users using your solution. So it needs to meet 3 key criteria. It needs to be innovative, it needs to be viable, and it needs to be globally scalable. And Labs by Bincom is able to coach you in terms of what you need to do at every point in time in this journey. In addition to that, from an eMigr8 perspective, we've got our eMigr8 coaching services as well, where we're able to coach you as a founder or as a group of founders or as a tech individual along the different visa pathways that are available to you. And then we're able to also introduce you to organizations like LATAM Startup, who are able to take that to the next level as well. But Marcel, do you want to add to that in terms of that question? I'm looking to create an MVP that will scale in my own country. What do you think? What can I do?
No, what you said, it's completely feasible for all the countries that you want to expand, right? So you need to have a scalable business, which means that it's less effort and you are receiving a lot of money for that. So a SaaS business, for instance, it's a high scalable business. You need to understand exactly what is going to be the sector that you see the opportunity. And as you said, Canada is a really mature market that is different for sure from your home market. But at the same time, you can understand that they have similar problems. So the solution needs to deliver solution for a problem that already exists, right? If you have an idea that could be patentable, let's say, you can apply for intellectual property and so on. So it's something really important for you, and that will prove that you have an innovative business. So I would say that what you said, it's completely all the things that we need. But apart from that, or actually besides that, the intellectual property, it's really something that will help you to grow globally, because what we are seeing now, it's every single investor that is starting talking with our companies here in our program, they the first question, it's about intellectual property, because they know that if they are putting money in your company, if you have intellectual property, they will want a lot of money with you as well. From the other perspective, if you don't have something to prove that you were like the first one doing something, it's really unlikely that they will be investing on you.
Fantastic. And I see that some of the questions have already been answered in the chat around where's the website to get more updates as regards this opportunity. Somebody is asking again how much it costs. I think we've answered that already to a large extent. WhatsApp link to the community. I believe that members, the community management side of eMigr8 would answer that question. How long does the startup visa take? We've answered that already as well, to say, I believe it's a 9-month journey, but Marcel, you may want to just reiterate this. It's a 9-month journey in terms of the process, and the LATAM startup and eMigr8 is not offering guarantees. This is not visa advice. This is not immigration advice. And this is not legal advice as well. This is just information, right? And so LATAM startup has a program, but that program is inclusive of you meeting some criteria, including a review from the board of directors of LATAM startup. So just to reiterate that as well, but there's a 9-month journey starting with a 3-month program and then a second 6-month program that could lead to this opportunity. And then the website is on the chat as well. Marcel, I tried to summarize multiple questions.
Oh, that's perfect. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, and again, as you said, we cannot guarantee anything, right? We are here for the sake of your business. We are here to help you to grow a strong case for the government of Canada, but at the same time, it's your business. You will be the one like building every single piece of it. You will be the one improving the solution and delivering great value. So again, we are only one piece of the this incredible puzzle, and we are here to support you on your decision and show you the best direction for your specific solution. But again, the last decision, it's yours. So you need to have a clear idea what is going to be the next stage of your business, the next step that you want to take, the goals going forward. We are here to clarify what's going to be the challenges. That is going to be a lot for sure. But once you are in an ecosystem like Canada, it's really important to be part of an accelerator or something like that, because we are going to support you and give you some resources and also sources how to navigate into the ecosystem, because it's all about connections, but the best connections that will make you grow, right? So make you rise. So it's something really important for you to have in mind as well.
Mm-hmm. The next question, I'm not sure if it's not in public domain. Just say it's not in public domain. But another question from the community is that how many people that sign up for the program end up getting the letter of support? So I think what they are asking for is that what's the success rate if I join this particular program with LATAM Startup?
Yeah, now we didn't have any rejections, but we have a lot of cases still waiting for approvals, and they are in the reviewing process and so on. So with the numbers that I get you, we have so far 200 companies in our portfolio, but not all of them go through the whole visa process, because some of them, they just want to grow their business here, open a headquarters in the North America market, and so on. So right now, I would say that we have 15 companies per cohort. We have 3 cohorts per year. And then I believe that they are reviewing now cases from 2021. So far we didn't have any rejections. So it's a good number.
Fantastic information. I'm going to put you on the spot for the next question. And the question is, why should I come to Canada? But I'll give a context to that question from the member of the community that must have asked this question.
Yeah.
So the context is, this is a startup founder that is doing very well in their home economy. They are looking at scaling globally, and then they have options of the UK. They have options with the UK startup visa. They have option of Canada, maybe with the Canada startup visa. And then they're looking at France and a few other countries as well. So this person has options, globally attractive. And this person is then asking that, why should I pick Canada of all these options that I've got?
Yeah, no, we have a lot of answers for it, but the first and more important one is the trade agreements. So imagine that Canada have trade agreements with more than 50 countries, which means that you can have different ways of selling your product. The taxes are lower, and that's a few things that you can do. So imagine that right now, Canada, they have agreements with US, for instance. If you are a Canadian corporate, you can sell to US without paying taxes, more taxes than the other countries. So I'm from Brazil. If I'm a Brazilian company selling direct to US, I will need to pay an amount much higher than being a Canadian corporation. And the same agreement that Canada has with US, they have with most of the countries on Europe as well. So it's something that you can take advantage on that. In the other hand, we also have the technology scenario per se. So Canada is considered the second largest tech corridor. So it's we only have Silicon Valley in our front. So it's something that you can take advantage as well. We have a huge community of AI here. It's growing up super fast. You have a lot of support from the government as well, that it's really something important from you for you when you are thinking in expansion, right? So from these points, I think that is really good. And again, we always think that Canada, oh, it's a cold country, the winter, because it's the first thing that everyone always asks me. I'm from Brazil. It's the best weather possible, and I'm here, and that's fine. I love the winter now. And one thing that for personal perspective is you will be in a much safer country. So you can expect different things. Again, none of the countries of the world are perfect. No, we also always have pros and cons, but thinking of your next step, not only as a company, but with your family, what is your goals, your personal goals as well? It's something that you need to consider. So it's something really good. We also have a lot of tech talents. We have a lot of great universities here that you can take advantage on as well. So again, you need to understand exactly what is your sector, because this is going to help as well in the strategy going forward. And we know that once you are growing from abroad, you will be growing also in your home country, because the brand awareness and the added value that you will have in your company, you will be improving even more your image in your country, right? So it's something that you need to think about as well.
And do you have any recommendations as regards provinces in Canada that the entrepreneurs in the room should take a look at? Generally?
Yeah, again, nowadays, I would say that it will depend on the sector that you are working for. So for instance, if you are thinking on AI, Quebec is the best place possible, but we have here in Ontario, Waterloo, they have now a growing community of AI as well. But if you are thinking on blue technologies, you need to go to Atlantic, because there is going to be the place that you have ocean and so on. Biotech there is really is strong as well. If you are more for agri-tech sector, agri-tech sector, I would say that Ontario is a good place, because we have a lot of dairy farms, poultry farms. So that's the point. We have a lot of different provinces and sectors where you can take advantage on. You just need to understand exactly what is going to be the best way to grow your company. Because the cheapest one will be the colder ones for sure. But you need to think about what is going to be the best place to settle your company.
Fantastic. I'll just say to our audience, we're coming towards the end game, towards the end of this particular session. So if you have questions, last minute questions, please drop them in the chat. I've sort of tried to combine many questions together as much as we can as we come towards the last lap of this particular session. This person is asking about switching visas. There are actually 2 or 3 questions I'm combining. We've discussed around permanent residency, unlikely to be refused and all of that. But then the question is around, what if my startup is not successful? Right. So one person is asking around, what if my startup fails? And we know about 9 out of every 10 startups fail, right? Somebody else is asking around switching their visa to say, if I move to Canada on the startup visa, can I switch to another visa in case my startup is not successful? And then somebody else is asking, well, same question really, what if permanent residency application is refused?
Yeah, again, once you apply, they are thinking about into your plan, right? So you're giving them a plan that you will be successful, but we know that sometimes it doesn't happen. If you already receive your permanent residency, it's not a problem at all. It's something that you can go through your life and that's it. But if you are under the work permit, you will need to change the business model, try to refine what is going to be the strategy to prove them that you are trying, because that's the point. If the startup fail, you are not a scalable business. And they are investing in scalable business growing globally. So that's the point. So sometimes when they fail into like the first 3 years, it's because they don't have a strong plan of expansion. And this is going to be something that they will be looking deeply into your case.
Okay, but is there a possibility of switching visas? I'm aware that there are quite a number of other visa opportunities in Canada. Does this allow you to switch your visa, or would you need to move first back to your own country and then reapply for another visa from there?
No, you can apply for a different visa from here. You will need to talk with an immigration lawyer just to understand what is going to be the best way of applying for a different one. Once you already went through a path, you will need to change the plan. So I really suggest you to talk with an immigration lawyer if it's something like this happens, because you will need to create a different plan. So you have different ways of immigration, but again, it will depend on your personal profile, your background, and so on. So it's a different criteria per se to talk about it. So it's not something that I have information on that.
Right now, fantastic. And so we're coming to the end of this session, and Marcel, I'm going to put you on the spot again. This time around, I would like you to speak to 5 categories of people that are part of the eMigr8 community. And that will be after I'm going to share a few more slides, and then we'll come back to you for your final word. First category of people are beginners. They're just starting their journey in the field of technology. They're just starting their journey in the field of startup and so on. So they don't have as much traction that we'll be looking for this kind of visa opportunity. What would you advise them to be doing now as individuals? Second category would be, so I'm going to break and then
no worries.
Our category are intermediate level people. They have 5 to 6, 7 years of experience in the field of technology, and then they are looking at what should be my next step as well. I'm interested in moving out of my home country, probably already have startup experience. Some are already building startups by the side or as their full-time gig at this point. Some already have some angel investment and so on. What would you advise them? Last category are people that are highly qualified and also ready to apply, meaning that they have a highly scalable startup that they've been running for a bit of time. They already have MVPs, they already have paying customers, they already have revenue, and they fit into this criteria. What would you advise them as well? So that's what I'll be asking you once we come back. But I'll just say a few more things to the audience and to the community as we bring this particular session of eMigr8 Open Day to a close. We did mention to you that if you waited till the end, we had something special for you, and it is this. Normally within the eMigr8 community, you only qualify for one free short inquiry session at no cost to you. However, because you've been part of an eMigr8 Open Day till the end of the eMigr8 Open Day, you qualify for a second short inquiry session at no cost as well. The first session, you could ask specific questions unique to your profile. We believe that no two people are the same. However, once you go back, having spoken to a coach, you may have more questions in a few weeks' time because you've now come across additional obstacles and so on. You are then able to book a second section at no cost to you as well, where you can speak with a coach and then get more guidance around whatever challenges that you face or whatever help you need specifically. If you need help, you can find eMigr8 at beamcom.net/eMigr8. We also encourage you to join the eMigr8 community. Within the eMigr8 community, you would find different people that are also thinking about tech-enabled visa pathways, different people that are also looking at tech visas for relocation and settlement. We ask you to join the wait list as well. The 2023 eMigr8 Tech Visa Landscape is launching soon. You can join the waiting list on the link on the screen, bit.ly eMigr8 Tech Visa Landscape _waiting list, and you will be able to get access to that as well. I'll just recap what we've said about eMigr8 platform, which is that we focus on tech-enabled visa opportunities, and we believe that the lowest common denominator across all these visa pathways is to be globally attractive. We've heard about the Canada Startup Visa, and with the Canada Startup Visa, the idea is that you should have an innovation that can scale globally and that can create employment in Canada. If you are able to have that, then you probably would qualify. Probably, we're not offering any guarantees within the eMigr8 platform, neither is LATAM Startup offering any visa guarantees, but you probably already qualify because if you are globally attractive, you have options from all over the world. From an eMigr8 perspective, our services helps you with information, general inquiry, hand holding, coaching, preliminary assessment, whether or not you qualify, helping you to structure your applications where for some specific visa opportunities, including the UK Global Talent Visa and several others as well. We offer a freemium model. We do a lot of things for free, but then we have a few premium packages as well that you would pay for. You can find more information at beamcom.net/eMigr8. We also encourage you, and these are some of our packages that you may be interested in, including the move to the UK, including our tech career coaching service that focuses on the UK, where you can land a role that offers skilled worker visa within the UK, move to the US as a global talent, and move to the UK as a global talent. And also we're looking at starting some services around the Canada Startup Visa. eMigr8 community is available for you. The links are on the screen and you can join the community for you to get more details about different options. And as information come out, new visa opportunities come out, if you have questions, if you have information to share to the community as well, that is available to you. We also spoke about some of our services that may be of interest to you, particularly around building your skill in the field of technology, including the Beamcom Global Tech Program that helps you to learn skills, gain experience and gain exposure in the field of technology, including the Beamcom mentoring platform that helps you to give back to the community as an expert in the field of technology, and then you're able to mentor other people, and that becomes evidence for you for some visa opportunities like the UK Global Talent Visa, like the US Global Talent Visa. That's the O1 visa for the field of digital, O1 visa of individuals with extraordinary ability. We would also mention that we've got the package on the move to the UK as an innovator that focuses on the UK Innovator Founder Visa and also other opportunities around that if you're interested in that particular package. But this edition of eMigr8 Open Day is and was focused on the Canada Startup Visa with LATAM Startup, and myself from LATAM Startup has been sharing a lot of information as regards what you should know around the Canada Startup Visa. And so Marcel, I spoke about those three categories of people: the beginners, the intermediate, and the advanced people ready to apply category of people. What would you advise each one of these category? And then we would ask for your final word as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. So for the beginners, I would say that try to enter in an ideation program that can clarify exactly the steps for you to build an MVP. So probably all of you have a lot of technology background, you have a lot of ideas in your mind, but you need to build like a feasible business, right? So an ideation program probably will help you with that. For those that are in the middle, the intermediate level of it, I would say that the best way is you need to do a market research. You need to understand exactly what is going to be like your competitors going forward, what is going to be the trends in the market, how can you grow in a way that you already have the experience, you already have a company. So how can you potentialize everything that you already have, like in another scale? So, and for the ones that are like really ready to expand globally, I would say that go through a program of internationalization expansion, or we have a lot of different names for it, but you need to understand exactly how to navigate into the new ecosystem. You have probably a lot of assumptions. You know exactly how to do it in your home market, but you need to understand not only how the sector works here or the industry that you are working for, but also how does it work, the business culture. That is the biggest, I think, the biggest challenges that our entrepreneurs are facing at this moment, because again, the culture is completely different. It's a more straightforward culture. How can you sell to these customers, and how it's going to be the best approach with each one of them? What is going to be the vertical that you will be targeting in the beginning? So there is a lot of nuances that you need to figure out before like expanding the business, and an acceleration program could also help you with that. It's something that you can start from by yourself for sure, but it's something that will simplify the process, I would say.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that, Marcel. And I think we'll just take your final word now, and also just to talk about LATAM Startup again for those that just joined and those that just came to the end of this video. Do you want to say maybe a few more words around what LATAM Startup is offering, and also, final words for our audience for today?
Yeah, for sure. So LATAM Startups, we are an accelerator based here in Toronto, Canada. We help international companies that wants to expand to North America using Canada as the starting point. So we have a lot of programs just to support the international entrepreneurs in doing business here in North America, how you can grow your company. Again, if you want to just open a headquarter, or if you want to immigrate to the country. So we have different programs for that, but the most important part is we are here to support the entrepreneurs growing their companies. And how we are doing it, it will depend on your goals, what is going to be the next steps, and your strategy. So if you have any questions on that, we have in the chat our website. I'm also leaving my email as well if you need to, again, send me any notes about it. And my advice on that is if you have a technology company, you need to think globally, because sometimes we just solving a problem that works for our country. But when you look from a different perspective, you can solve much more problems, right, with the same solution. So keep in mind that actually keep your mind open just to new opportunities and possibilities.
Fantastic. And if I were to summarize what Marcel had mentioned, is that for beginners build, For intermediate people, start doing market research into the opportunities available for you to do stuff with. And then if you're already in the field, then think globally. And think globally would be Canada. Consider the Canada startup visa. And from us at eMigr8, we will just say that be globally attractive. If you're globally attractive, you would have multiple options. You would have options of staying in your own country and then building globally. You could have options of working remotely across the world, but you can also have options of moving to different destination countries. Specific focus today was on the Canada startup visa, and you would have those opportunities to move to those countries to be able to deliver value at a global scale. When they say that the world is a global village, it's no longer just in us talking about it, because it's actually true, and you can build globally and from all over the world. And Canada is offering you that opportunity for you to be able to do that from Canada. In addition, from our perspective at eMigr8 and eMigr8 platform, we talk about tech-enabled visa pathways for relocation and settlement to multiple countries of the world, the UK, the US, Canada, France. We've also spoken about Germany, Australia, and a few more countries are coming up, French tech visa, and so on. And that's what we focus on the eMigr8 platform. We're building the platform to be a connecting bridge between those that need the information, that those that need the coaching, with those that have the information and are able to coach you. And we're looking at expanding that as well as we grow. And so thank you for attending this edition of eMigr8 Open Day. We hope that it has been informative for you. If it has been, could you please just drop in the chat? Give us feedback. The part of the reasons why we continue doing this is because we know that we are making a difference. Within the eMigr8 community, we have tens and over 40 successes at the moment, but then we have many indirect successes. So when I say eMigr8 successes, these are people that have moved because of the eMigr8 platform and the eMigr8 coaching. But then we have several indirect successes of people that say, oh, they saw our videos, they saw this, they saw that, they were part of the community. They didn't take a coaching service itself, but then they were also pointed in the right direction. And so give us those feedback. It helps us. It helps us to continue investing our time. Many of the coaches on the eMigr8 platform are doing it to be able to give back as well. Many of the coaches on the platform found out some of these information that you have on a platter of wood. They found it out by accident in some cases, and you've heard some of their stories on this platform. Some of them did not know they could qualify for the visa opportunity until somebody prompted them, somebody else prompted them, a friend prompted them. And that brings me to my second point to say, tell somebody about this visa opportunity. Tell them about eMigr8. We would like that, but tell them about this opportunity as well, to say this opportunity exists, and then they may take a look at it. If you have a startup founder that you are close to or that you know, it may not be in their radar, and you may just be the answer to a prayer that they do have. eMigr8 platform is available for you. We're here to help, and let us know how we can help. Thank you so much for attending this edition of eMigr8 Open Day. Thank you so much, Marcel, JP. Thank you for joining us and sharing from this wealth of experience and knowledge. It's been really, really informative. It's been informative for even me, myself. You never know, maybe I will be considering the Canada startup visa. But I believe it's been really informative to members of our community. And if it has been for the community, please let us know, give us those feedback, and it helps us as well to continue growing. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
See you soon.
Take care. Bye.